But I've lived in this flat for 5 years. You can't just sell my home from under me like that. I know I don't have a lease because you told me we'd never need one as we had a gentleman's agreement. How wrong was I? In 2 weeks? How am I going to get another place at the same rent around here in 2 weeks? But I meant to have my kids over. How am I going to see my kids if I've nowhere to live? Thanks for nothing, mate. Now this. It has come to our attention that you have not declared an income to the Department of Employment Affairs and Social Protection. Your payments have been stopped until such time as the overpayment of benefits you received whilst working are recouped by this department. Over my dead body.
Number 126 to hatch 4, please. It's been one screecher after another all bloody day. Bloody hell, you'd swear there was a full moon or something. I mean, the rules are there for a reason. I'm just doing my job. You'd swear I was keeping their benefits for myself. They don't pay me enough for the crap I have to take day in and day out. You'd want thick skin to work here. Number 126. Right. PPS number, name and address, please.
589734R, Barry Walsh, 76 Newbridge Heights.
Right, what can I do for you, Mr. Walsh?
You can type into that computer there in front of you that this letter you sent me is complete crap.
We received information, Mr. Walsh, that between May and July of last year, you did labouring work for Mr. Fergus O'Reilly, for which you received a payment that you did not declare to this office, while you continued to receive social welfare benefits.
Now, I'll stop you right there.
You are aware, Mr. Walsh, that any payment you receive must be declared to this office. You're on benefits quite a while. I'm sure you know this at this stage.
As I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. That file went to Limerick last week. Yeah, of course. Yes, I know. There's nothing I can do to reinstall your payments, Mr. Walsh, but I can tell you that there's an appeals process should you wish to appeal the department's decision.
Listen here, you. I'm getting my payments up and running before I leave this building today. You hear me loud and clear, right?
Mr. Walsh...
No! You listen to me. I did a few one-off nixers to help a mate out. He was under pressure to get a job done. He gave me a few beers and diesel money, for God's sake. I was only on site an hour or two a few days a week. It wasn't even a real job.
That's not the information we received.
Who told you otherwise, huh? Who's the snitch? The ex-wife, yeah.
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information, Mr. Walsh, other than you received a wage to the value of €3,000 from Mr. O'Reilly while you continued to receive benefits. That information is evident from your bank record.
That was money that was left to me by my dad when he died last summer. It was cash. And I asked Fergus to lodge it into my account when he was doing a bank run one day, sorting business stuff. He'll tell you. You bloody lot are punishing me because me old man left me a few bob in his will. Are you lot for real?
Lower your voice, Mr. Walsh.
You don't understand. Sitting in here with your cushy little desk number. I'm bloody homeless next week with no way to pay for the rent now.
That's a matter for the homeless section in the county council, Mr. Walsh, not us.
Jesus Christ. You're not listening to me, woman.
I don't have to take this, Mr. Walsh. If you continue in this manner, security will remove you from the building. You're not helping your case.
Are you threatening me?
The appeal form we talked about, Mr. Walsh, I think we're just about done.
We'll be done when I say we're done. Don't you look down your nose at me.
Security, please!
So we're now going to bring Barry and Maria together for a restorative meeting. So I call on Barry and Maria, please. If you'd like to come in and sit down. Hello to both of you and welcome. My name is Joe Power and I've been asked to facilitate this meeting. I've spoken to both of you about the incident that happened on the 22nd of October, and it's clear that what has happened has affected both of you. And this is an opportunity to talk about that, to look at the ways in which you've been affected and to work together to find ways of repairing the harm. I've explained how today is going to work. I'm going to ask both of you a series of questions. Barry, I might start with you. I'd like to ask you from your perspective what happened on the day.
From the minute I sat in that chair, I knew she wasn't going to do anything for me. She wanted rid of me as quickly as possible. She treated me like something she'd rubbed off the sole of her shoe.
And can you tell me what you were thinking at the time?
I was thinking, if I don't get this sorted here and now, I won't be able to pay for a roof over my head. I'd lose access to my kids. To have to come and beg for money like that just to exist, it feels so shameful. You're at their mercy. You lose all sense of dignity. I felt invisible. She had all the power.
And Barry, what have you thought about since?
I think I did scare the lady. I see that now, and I'm sorry for that. It's not her fault. She's just doing her job. I was boiling for a long time after, though, which is why I sent in the complaint. I wanted revenge in a way. Make her squirm the way she made me squirm. Tit for tat, really.
Who would you say has been affected by all this, and in what way?
To have been dragged from that building that day. That was some humiliation, I can tell you, in front of all those people. If you'd asked me before now, I would have said it was only me who was affected. But both of us left that day upset, maybe. So yeah, both of us is the answer. We both felt humiliated.
And finally, how do you think things could have been done differently?
Me not go rushing in there in a temper to start with. We started off on the wrong footing. I blamed her for my situation, even though she didn't cut my benefits. I was taking my anger out on the wrong person.
I might turn to you now, Maria. Can I just ask from your perspective what happened on the day?
Mr. Walsh verbally abused me at the front desk in a threatening manner, and security had to remove him from the building. And then he sent in a letter of complaint to my manager about my treatment of him.
And what were your thoughts at the time?
I thought this guy could jump over the desk and attack me. I was scared witless, though I didn't want him to see it. Last year, some guy threatened to burn my house down. Like, most people are fine, you know, just people in tough situations. But you never know which ones could turn on you.
Maria, what have you thought about since?
Am I cut out for this job? Like, there's a really high turnover of staff. That it's not fair that I have to bear the brunt of other people's frustrations. That I've no support in work, no training, nothing. But hearing Mr. Walsh explain why he was so upset, well, people act differently under pressure, don't they? I mean, I know I shouldn't take it personally, but I should be aware of it.
And who do you think has been affected by all this, and in what way?
I left pretty shook up, to be honest. People think that you should just be able to absorb this kind of abuse, but it takes its toll, you know. And obviously, Mr. Walsh was affected because he sent in a complaint to my manager.
And how do you think things could have been done differently?
I was really stressed out that day before he even came in. Just one of those days, you know. Maybe I was a bit short with him. I should have listened more, been more empathetic to his situation, even if I didn't have the power to change it. I should have noticed the stress signs earlier and offered him a glass of water before we even started, you know.
Maria, at this point, what do you think needs to happen?
I'll be asking my management for training in how to handle conflict. I'd like to apologise to Mr. Walsh if I came across as insensitive. I'm sorry, I realise you were under pressure, and I'm sorry if anything I said caused any harm. It wasn't deliberate.
And Barry, to you then, what do you think needs to happen?
The lady has a tough job. I hear that. Having to listen to people complain all day can't be easy. I'm sorry too for raising my voice and for being intimidating.
Thanks.
I think we'll both leave here today a little bit more aware of how we communicate, especially when under pressure.
So just before we finish, Maria, just give you an opportunity. Is there anything else you'd like to say at this point?
I thought this would be really awkward and uncomfortable, you know, but I'm glad we kind of got to hear each other out. Thanks.
And finally, Barry, is there anything else you'd like to add at this point?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm just glad to have had an opportunity to hear what Maria had to say.
Okay, listen, I'd like to thank both of you for being involved in today's meeting, and I hope it's given, our time together has given us a better understanding of how to deal with things restorative when they go wrong. So thank you both.
Thanks.
Okay.
Number 105, please. Good morning. Could I have your PPS number, please, and we'll just confirm your name and address.
PPS 5821 426I, Seamus Grant, 14 Car Gardens, Ennis.
Good morning, Seamus. Sorry to have kept you waiting there. What can I do for you?
Straight off now, I'm not going to be waiting to get these payments set up, okay? This is a joke. Like, it's been months, and I filled in this form and that form, and now you lot send me another form to fill in. Like seriously, it's beyond a joke at this stage.
I'm sorry, Mr. Grant. I can see you're upset. Just let me check the system and see what's going on.
I need to get this sorted. Everyone in here tells me a different story. Like, 5th of May, I filled in that form. 12th of June, this one arrives.
Oh.
3rd of July, here we go again. The same bloody form I filled in on the 12th of June.
I'm really sorry. Listen, just give me a minute and I'll check the system and see what's happened.
I want this sorted today.
Oh, it will be sorted today, but just give me a minute to go through the system, just so that I can see what's going on.
Fine.
Okay. I can see what's happened. And it's our fault. You were issued with the HR 105 instead of the 106, and that's why your payments aren't up and running.
Oh, for God's sake, this is just typical. Have you not any idea what this has meant for me?
Mr. Grant,
No,
I can just...
listen to me. I've rent to pay, bills to meet. I'm falling behind, and you tell me that the wrong form was issued. This isn't my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
I've had 2 job interviews in the last few weeks. Both have promised to get back to me. I'm still waiting. I'm not able to order a delivery of fuel because there's no money in the account. Back to school is just around the corner, and what am I supposed to do?
Mr. Grant, I'm really sorry.
Sorry doesn't cut it.
Please, bear with me. If you give me a chance, I'll get you the correct form. I'll go through it with you. I'll upload it to the system and we'll get your claim back up and running today.
Will I get payment today?
Not from this claim, but if you bear with me, I'll see if the community welfare officer can come over and give you an emergency payment. Is that okay?
Fine. Let's just get on with the form filling. But this is the last one, right?
Absolutely the last one. And listen, I'm sorry for the hassle. Thanks for your patience.